Night on Eagle Angle, Oklahoma Christian prepares for the coronavirus outbreak.
Learn how the Democratic Party is preparing for Super Tuesday.
And see women supporting other women by building affordable housing.
Plus, Garrett White is in the studio with your 5-day forecast.
And Will Hadley checks in with your sports report. Hello and welcome to Eagle Angle. I'm Reagan Meyer.
I'm Elijah Johnson. Eagle Angle is a student-produced newscast live from the campus of Oklahoma Christian University.
The coronavirus has the world on alert, and Oklahoma Christian is making appropriate preparations in case this pandemic affects our campus. We go to Becca Kashorek for more.
Across the country, universities are preparing for the spread of the coronavirus, and Oklahoma Christian is no different. A statement was sent out to the students on Monday saying the Critical Incident Response Team has started meeting to discuss what actions will be taken immediately and what will happen if the virus spreads close to home. Larger universities like Ohio State and even Harvard have either shut down completely or moved all of their classes online in an effort to limit the amount of contact students have with each other. President of OC John DeSteiger says OC is looking into moving some classes online, but have not made any definite decisions. All Ethos events have been canceled for the rest of the week, and the administration is discussing whether or not they will start back up again after spring break. While no concrete actions have been taken at this time, the university released an official statement saying, "Our number one priority is the safety of students, employees, and the families of both groups. We'll update the community as necessary as the situation continues to develop." We'll keep you updated on any changes on all of the Eagle Media social media accounts. Reporting for Eagle Angle, I'm Becca Kashorek.
This past week, campus came alive with students for the spring visit, but to current students, it was Spring Sing Week. This year's theme was Vision 2020 for the 2020 year. After performances from the 9 social clubs and the freshman class, the judges declared the ladies of Gamma Rho as the winners. Gamma Rho's show theme was Bo Peep and her sheep. Their group also won the audience favorite and best costumes award. The second place winners and holders of the student favorite award were the men at Kappa Sigma Tau, who were the ladies of Iota Kappa Phi won third place and best vocals with the Lilo and Stitch show. The Zombies and Survivors men of Chi Lambda Phi won fourth place and the awards for best blurb and choreography. The Park Rangers of Phi Omega Nu won the Unity Award and best lyrics. Alpha Gamma Omega's Bob Rothstein won the awards for being the staff favorite and most original. Lastly, the best banner award went to the freshman class. Congratulations to all the students and staff that worked to put on this Spring Sing show. DVDs can be purchased from springsing.tv for those who would like to see this year's show again.
Oklahoma Christian's student account page is getting a facelift on March 16th. The page will become more mobile-friendly, letting students access their information in an easy-to-read format. Many students already use the OC and Ethos apps. This new webpage will reflect the student population and make accessing information easier for mobile users. Students will likely need to spend a little extra time on March 16th getting used to the new system. If you have any questions, you can visit the IT department on campus.
If you have any stories you want us to report on, email our producer at becca.kashork@eagles.oc.edu. Now for national news. This Tuesday might be a landmark moment in the 2020 presidential campaign. The Democratic presidential candidates Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders are facing off on Super Tuesday too. John Larink reports.
It'll be like deja vu all over again, but not quite as big. On Super Tuesday 2, contests will be held in Washington State, Idaho, North Dakota, Missouri, Mississippi, and most importantly, Michigan, with its 125 delegates. Democratic presidential candidates Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders spent the weekend stumping.
We're building a coalition. We're building a coalition that most successful presidents of our lifetime, Barack Obama, had started.
Change never takes place from the top on down, always from the bottom on up.
Each candidate received a big endorsement. California Senator Kamala Harris is backing Biden.
We need a leader who really does care about the people and who can therefore unify the people. And I believe Joe can do that.
While the Reverend Jesse Jackson is supporting Sanders.
A lot of talk these days about democratic socialism. What does all that mean? The opposite word is democracy, all for and by the people.
Biden has a delegate lead over Sanders thanks to his dominant performance on the first Super Tuesday.
This is not an election just for the soul of the Democratic Party. It's a battle for America's soul.
Sanders, meanwhile, is still awaiting Super Tuesday results from Delegate-rich California, where he is leading in a slow count, and focusing on Michigan, a state he narrowly won in 2016.
Let us win the Democratic nomination. Let us defeat Donald Trump.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Women helping women. That was the theme Saturday when hundreds of volunteers showed up in Tucson for Habitat for Humanity's Women Build Day. It was an opportunity to give back, especially for some of the women volunteers who were gifted homes of their own. Mark Mingura reports.
These homes aren't given away for free. Along with the service hours, financial education classes and saving for a down payment are required.
They go through this really rigorous process of financial education and home ownership classes, how to be a good neighbor, and how to be a community partner.
More than 300 volunteers showed up for this year's Women Build, including a few who have received their own homes over the years. Adriana, who got hers last year, was living with her parents before she got this opportunity.
It was a 10 by 10 room where it was my bed on one side and my boys' bunk beds on the other. So it was a small place for us to live. But now they have a room of their own. This is the first time that they've ever had a room of their own.
Habitat for Humanity works with new homeowners to make sure their mortgage is no more than 30% of their income, allowing people like Adriana to be able to take care of her family. Now, she's here to give back.
I called my mom crying. I called her crying because I was so excited that I finally did it. You know, I didn't think I'd ever get a home for them, but I did.
According to the Habitat for Humanity's website, women are 35% more likely to live in poverty and occupy 60% of the lowest paying jobs in the nation.
You know, they come in with very little knowledge of budgeting, and eventually by the end of the process, after a year, they're experts, and they're really excited to be in their home.
It's more than a home. It's a hand up, not a handout. That's why Adriana says this changed her life.
It gave me courage that I didn't even know I had. It gave me a sense of freedom. It's so many emotions that come to you when you do something like this.
Last week, deadly tornadoes ripped through parts of Tennessee. In addition to taking lives, the storms left massive devastation. One of the many structures damaged was the historic Nashville Church established nearly 150 years ago. On Sunday, the church's congregation gathered for its first service since the storms on another church's property. Nikki Junwich reports.
Established all the way back in 1878, the history of Hopewell Missionary Baptist Church is undeniable. On the corner of Monroe Street and Buena Vista, it's considered a pillar in the North Nashville community. A pillar a force of nature tried to take down.
I was shocked. I was in total disbelief that this had happened.
Pastor Derek Moore says he still cannot believe the extent of the damage. The steeple is on the sidewalk, but he does have faith the congregation of 200 will move forward together. They already are, moving Sunday services to St. James Baptist Church.
We want to concentrate on what we do and not so much as be all that inundated in the building itself.
We realized right away that the church is just a building and the church is actually the people. So we have really been upbeat and up-tempo because we know that the building can be replaced or rebuilt, but no lives were lost, no one was hurt, and we can still move forward from that.
To repair or to rebuild the historic structure is still up in the air, but one thing is for certain.
We've been around over 100 years and we're not going anywhere.
Perhaps the brightest days for this church still lie ahead after the storm.
The brick and the mortar will come and go. No buildings are designed to last forever. But it's the mission, it's what we do, how we impact our community that will forever linger on.
That's your national news. After this short break, Garrett White will be in the studio with your 5-day forecast.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
I was just going to drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh, man, the selfies. Selfie. Nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man. Let's put a ride home.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
It's really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Good evening, Oklahoma. We are currently now at the end of a wonderfully warm spring day. The current temperature is 74 degrees and outside is still sunny. As we take a look at the state for temperatures closer to where you are, we'll start off in Durant, where it's 78 degrees currently. Ardmore and Tulsa both at 75 degrees and at 73 in Ada. Oklahoma City is at 74 degrees. Now, the next three cities all share the same temperature. That's Lawton, Elk City, and Ponca City, all at 72. Altus is at 71, and now we'll enter the 60-degree temperature zone with Miami leading us off at 69, Sallisaw at 68, and Guyman, last but not least, at 65 degrees. For tonight, the temperature will drop down to 58 degrees, and it will be accompanied with a southeast wind blowing in at 12 miles an hour. The humidity will also be at 67%. Now, for the weekend, some things to note. It's going to be cloudy with temperatures in the 50s to 60s, and it's going to be rainy. We'll take a look at that as we look at the day-to-day for the next 5 days. Starting with Thursday, it will be partially cloudy, a high of 79, low of 46. Friday is going to bring in that rain, the high dropping down to 50 with a low of 46. Saturday morning, we'll have rain showers, starting with a high of 62, low of 44. Sunday evening, we'll also have rain, a high of 56, low of 50. And then throughout Monday, there will be scattered thunderstorms, a high of 64, low of 52. That's all I have for your weather. Up next, join Nick Rogers in the Entertainment Corner as he brings us news about Coachella.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up, and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Oh, hey, Julia. Are you ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's going to play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
Mm-hmm. With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Contest.
You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Hello, and welcome back to this week's Entertainment Corner. I'm your host, Nick Rogers, and first up, one of music's largest events will be delayed due to the coronavirus. Concert promoters for the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival will postpone the event potentially until October. The festival typically attracts about 100,000 attendees per day and was supposed to take place the second and third weekends in April in Indio, California. Rage Against the Machine, Travis Scott, and Frank Ocean were scheduled to headline the festival. The same promoters run the Stagecoach Music Festival that headlines country stars. It will also be tentatively in October now. Organizers say all purchases for the April dates will be honored for the rescheduled October dates. Purchasers will be notified this week on how to obtain a refund if they can't attend. Disgraced former movie mogul Harvey Weinstein was sentenced to 23 years in prison Wednesday. He faced between 5 and 29 years in jail after last month's convictions on first-degree criminal sexual act and third-degree rape. Weinstein unexpectedly addressed the court for nearly 20 minutes before the judge handed down the sentence. He said, quote, "I really feel remorse for this situation. I feel it deeply in my heart. I will spend my time really caring and really trying to be a better person." The charges were based on testimony in a New York courtroom by Miriam Haley and Jessica Mann. They both spoke at the sentencing hearing. The 67-year-old has been in state custody since the verdict and has had several health issues. Weinstein also faces felony sex assault charges in Los Angeles. Now, let's check out what David Daniel has to say in this week's Hollywood Minute.
James, you gave up everything for her.
First, the coronavirus chased No Time to Die from April to November. Now, Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, is hopping from April to August 7th, as studios worry about the pandemic prompting people to avoid movie theaters.
I've tracked the legend to every village, every island. Nothing. You're searching for something that can't be found.
But you've never had the key.
Here's your latest look at Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt in Jungle Cruise, the most recent Disney movie based on a theme park attraction. The film is scheduled to set sail July 24th. Here's a blast from the past. The 1933 King Kong, with Fay Wray as the Scream Queen, is returning to theaters for the first time in more than 60 years. It'll screen at more than 600 U.S. cinemas on Sunday, March 15th. Check fathomevents.com for information. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Looks like that's all for this week. Tune in next time to check out what's new in entertainment. Now we go back to Desk for Sports.
Oklahoma Christian's softball team was on the road twice this past week, and their first stop was in Denton, Texas, when they took on Texas Women's University in a doubleheader. In the first game, Oklahoma Christian would score early in the first inning when Caitlin Dunkel tripled left to Jaden Johnson. Then in the third inning, Dunkel would strike again for the Eagles with a single to left field, giving them a 2-0 lead. OC's own Callie Crandall would go on to get her 10th win of the season as the Eagles would take the first game. In the second game, the Pioneers would score first in the third inning, and they would also go on to hold the Eagles scoreless as they beat the Eagles 1-0 to split the doubleheader. The Eagles would then head to Commerce, Texas to play Texas A&M Commerce. In the first game, Oklahoma Christian would score the first run of the game when Jaden Johnson hit a solo home run to left. The Lions would bounce back and take the lead in the fourth inning and hold off the Eagles the rest of the way, winning 3-1. Oklahoma Christian would then bounce back in the second game as they would get on the board early after a triple from Johnson and a sacrifice fly by Brianna Robinson. Commerce would then rally back, taking a 3-2 lead over the Eagles in the third inning. But OC's Dalen Denny would give OC the lead in the fifth on a 2-run home run to left field. OC would go on to win 4-3 over the Lions. The Eagles are 21-5 on the season, and they will play a total of 10 games over the next week. As for the baseball team, they would take on Arkansas Fort Smith in a 4-game series. In the first game, OC would fall behind in the fourth inning when Fort Smith would score 1 run and then add on 5 more runs in the fifth inning to go up by 6. Oklahoma Christian would try to battle back as they would score 5 runs in the game, but fall short, losing 6-5. In the second game, the Eagles would get on board first in the second when Colton Hinkle hit a double to center field to bring in Jaron Hill. OC would then give up a total of 4 runs over the next 4 innings. But in the bottom of the sixth, OC would rally back and they would score 4 runs to go on to beat Fort Smith 5-4. Then, in Game 3, Oklahoma Christian would get the deep ball going and they would hit 2 home runs in the game, one from Era Edwards and one from Jaron Hill. Both home runs would result in OC scoring a total of 4 runs and going on to take Game 3 of the series. Both teams would then finish out the series on Sunday. They would both battle back and forth throughout the entire game, but OC would take control of the lead late in the 8th inning when Michael DeFleur hit his second home run of the game, which would also give OC the lead and the win as the Eagles win the series over Arkansas Fort Smith. Oklahoma Christian is now 9-13 on the season, and they will play 2 4-game series this coming week. The girls' golf team played at the Diffie Ford Lincoln Golf Tournament this past Monday and Tuesday. At the end of the day on Monday, OC had a combined score of 316 and was 8th place out of the 17-team field. On Tuesday, OC would play much better as they would shoot for a combined score of 311, 5 strokes better than Monday, which would help them move up to finishing 7th out of the 17 teams. OC's Wilma Marinmes and Alexandria Bennett would both shoot 6 over par on Tuesday and both tie for 14th place out of the 94-woman field. The girls' golf team will be in Wichita Falls this coming week as they'll be playing in the Midwestern State Invitational. That's your Eagle Angle Sports Report. I'm Will Hadley. Stay tuned after this break for our Take a Look at This.
Blood pressure numbers could change your life. Talk to your doctor about creating a plan that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
Now I'm, trying to get better, stronger than ever.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Dora knows better than anyone. The best place to explore is the forest.
Boots! She knows this monkey? Of course, she knows this monkey.
Experience nature.
Let's go.
Connect with family.
I love you guys.
And find your own adventure in a forest or park near you.
Let's do this. Come on, Boots.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest or park near you.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber.
Breathe right into your foot.
Your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Hey, Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
I'd love to, but I'm pretty busy with all this.
Yeah. Hey, let's meet our retirement coach, Avo. A is for taking action.
Not anxiety?
No, Kevin, you're gonna be fine.
You sing?
Barely. V is for variety.
And you dance?
Sort of. Come on. O's for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice.
A father in Montana didn't want his autistic son left out of the Boy Scouts, so he created his own troop, one specifically for kids with special needs. Marin Sue has the details.
50 started last fall. One of our district leaders, Keith McAtee, who's the current scoutmaster of the troop, he has a nonverbal autistic son who he never thought it was possible for his son Aiden to be in scouting.
And now it is possible for those like Aiden. District Executive for the Northwest Montana Boy Scouts of America, Matt Cuffey, says McAtee started this group dedicated to kids with special needs. Kids range in disability from nonverbal autism to ADHD.
We wanted to form a troop where kids can work at their own pace with no problems.
And Billy King, Assistant Scout Leader of Troop 1950, says that's exactly what he does.
It's kind of challenging, but it's a lot of fun because I get to work on each boy one-on-one. You know, we learned flag ceremony last Monday, and they learned to tie the square knot. And I got to work with each one of the boys personally.
Covey says various adjustments are made for those with different disabilities.
You know, if your swimming merit badge is required for Eagle Scout, if you're, say, in a wheelchair, you're not going to be able to earn the swimming merit badge. And so they might change some of those swimming requirements to make a presentation to your troop on aquatic safety.
And King says how meaningful working with this troop is.
I have a cousin that's got MS and autism, and I got a granddaughter that's, very, she's got autism. So it's very rewarding to me.
Covey says if the troop has more interest, he will look into creating a troop specifically for girls with disabilities.
Well, next week we are not going to have Eagle Angle because it is spring break. Elijah, tell me one thing that you're most excited for to do over the break.
Go home and see my friends. Everybody's coming back from college, and I get to see the people that are still in high school. This is right around prom season, so I get to help a couple out, pick out their dresses and stuff. So it'll be real fun.
That's fun. I think I'm excited to see my family, friends, and my dogs. I've missed them so much. But yeah, spring break will be fun, and just remember, don't try to watch Eagle Angle because we're going to be at spring break.
Yeah, I know you guys are disappointed, but it's not going to happen.
Yep. All right, well, thank you for watching Eagle Angle, where it's your campus,
your news.